and then I do videos throughout the week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other damn therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Kris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They have 30,000 therapists working for them. I've gotten great feedback from people using them. So thank you. BetterHelp.com/Kris Godinez. Okay. So today's current event. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw this in the news that a CEO was at a Coldplay concert and got caught. The HR person on one of the cams, you know how they do the cameras and people hugging and stuff. Well, they were hugging and then they had to drop down because they realized they were on camera, and he's married. So let's talk a wee bit about narcissists and harems for the current event. Narcissists need a harem. Even if they're married, they need so much ego stroking, among other things, going on. So they always, oh, they were both married. So they always need ego stroking. They always need a harem. They will be married, have a mistress, and have another mistress, and have another mistress on the back burner. And they need that kind of feeding the bear. They need that attention all the time, both with kids. And that's the thing. Narcissists do not care who they hurt. It's all me, I, more, my genitals, and that's all they care about. They do not care about their spouses. They do not care about their children. What they care about is their public image. They care about, fixing the spin and things like that. But they do not care how that is going to affect those kids or those spouses. They don't care. They don't care. It doesn't even enter their realm of thinking until it's too late. And that's the thing. Narcissists, good Lord, my hair's doing the Watusi. Narcissists do not go if A, then B. Well, what's the likelihood of, this happening or that happening? And they don't care. They don't care. All they care about is their ego. All they care about is getting their rocks off. All they care about is the power trip. They don't care. And it's heartbreaking for the spouses, but it's the kids that is really going to get it, because the kids are going to be made fun of at school. Come on, everybody's got a TikTok video. Everybody's got social media. Everybody has seen this little clip of them doing that. It's just, and then you figure they're probably both going to get divorced, or maybe not. Some people stay with the abuser even after there's been an indiscretion. But it's not just one indiscretion. I can guarantee it. If there's been one, there's been more than one. So then there's going to be a divorce, and it's going to be a high conflict divorce, and they're going to do everything they can to screw the spouses out of, whatever they can. So yeah, I'm glad I could help, hun. So yeah, it's just, it just, narcissists are heinous, and they are dark triads, psychopath, control freak, narcissist, and they don't care. They truly do not care. So I'm not surprised. I'm glad they got caught, but I feel bad for the kids, and I feel bad for the spouses too. So anyway, I strongly would suggest those kids get into counseling if that's the case, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it to deal with the bullies at school. They're going to need it to deal with how that parent is going to be nasty during the divorce and nasty during the custody hearings and, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, all right. So today's topic, and this is very close to home because my sister and I were talking, my sister Terry, my big sister, and I were talking about this today. Do you allow, well, not today, actually it was 2 days ago. Do you allow yourself to feel happy? Or do you sabotage it? Or do you wait for that shoe to drop? What do you do with happiness? So something that I have noticed in survivors of abuse, it is a trauma response to stop ourselves from feeling happy. I know. It's like, what? what is going on here? I allow it, but I limit it. Yes, that's what we do. It's like we can have a little bit. It's okay to have a little bit, but oh my gosh, if we really allow ourselves to feel the joie de vivre, or to feel ridiculously silly, or to feel content, or calm, or happy, or, whatever. It's like we feel like we shouldn't be doing it, or we feel like somebody's going to take it away from us. I mean, that's how I felt when I was a teenager. Anytime I was happy, I would immediately sabotage it, or I would immediately limit it so that it wasn't noticeable to my abusers. So, because abusers love to sabotage any happy event. Remember, narcissists cannot stand it when somebody is having an emotion that they cannot feel, or somebody's having an emotion and it's not about them. How dare you? How dare you have an emotion and it's not about me? That kind of thing. It's like, you've got to recognize that we limit, or we have limited, our ability to be happy, and it is a trauma response. So the other thing that, and this is a good point, Trump threatening more layoffs, so he's keeping us in a state of fear. Yes. So my sister was talking about that. She's on Social Security. She's 78, 79? Dear God. Anyway, she's 18 years older than I am. So I know, it's like I still think of her as like, she's 20. I'm 18. This is great. No. Anyway, she's on Social Security, and she's sitting here going, oh my God, what, I'm a diabetic. What am I going to do if they cut off Medicaid, Medi-Cal, Medicare? Well, they won't cut off Medi-Cal. That's California. But, what am I going to do? There's a state of fear. And she's like, I can't feel happy knowing what's going on and all the fear and things like that. And I looked at her and I said, stop handing your power over. Stop handing your power over. Narcissists love to terrorize. My dad did that. My dad would keep us in a constant state of, what is he going to be like walking in the door? Is it going to be okay? Or do I need to run for the hills? And you never knew what was going to walk in through the door. And I learned very quickly that I couldn't have any happy emotion unless he was okay with it. So when I moved out, I was really limiting what I allowed myself to feel. And a lot of my clients have expressed the same thing. They're living in fear because of the current administration. Some of them even people who voted for Trump. So it's not just one side or the other that's getting hit by this stuff. It's anybody who is brown-skinned, on Social Security, on Medicaid, on Medicare, has any sort of health issue. There's a lot of fear. And fear is what we lived in as kids when we lived under our abuser's roof. And so we never knew what was going to walk in. So we would limit ourselves. And I have clients telling me that they are limiting themselves because they're waiting for the shoe to drop. How many of us lived under an abuser's roof where we would be perfectly happy, everything would be fine, and then the abuser would flip on a dime and just, out of the blue, suddenly get upset about something you said or did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 months ago. And a lot of it was lies, like it didn't even happen and you didn't even say that. So they will come up with reasons to drop the shoe. They'll come up with a way to ruin whatever happiness is going on. And so what we do is that little kid inside of us. So this is the inner child. The inner child is the one that goes, oh, I remember this. I remember what happened when I allowed myself to be happy. I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to allow myself to be happy. I'm not going to allow myself to fully enjoy what's going on. I'm not going to be fully present, because we're trying to stop being abused, even though the abuse that happened with the happiness was in the past. Why is this going on? Because of our amygdala. Remember the amygdala? It's that little tiny organ, almond-shaped organ that sits about an inch inside of each ear. The problem with the amygdala is it just doesn't know the difference between past, present, future, remembering something, thinking about something, imagining something, emotional something. It's all here now, here now, here now, here now, here now. So when we start having fun, or we start enjoying ourselves, immediately that little inner child who got abused, who got hurt, comes out and goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, we can't have fun. We can't feel good because it's going to be taken away. That's the biggest fear for little kids, is that the fun times are going to stop. And not just stop naturally. You know, when you're in a healthy family, they teach you, you know, good times happen, bad times happen, but they're not forced, okay? With an abusive family, with a narcissist as a parent, they will force the bad times. They'll make it happen. They'll make something horrible happen. So for an example, we would be at dinner, right? And everything would be fine. People would be laughing. We'd be having a good time. And my father would turn around and kick the dog for no reason, which of course sent me off the edge. And then he'd hit me when I went to go defend the dog and ruined the entire dinner. You think that was a coincidence? Oh, wait, John's trying to watch the channel while I'm talking. So that was on purpose. That was 110% on purpose. There was no reason to kick the dog. He could have nudged the dog out of the way. He could have asked one of us to go get the dog. He could have done 100,000 million different things. He chose. So they choose to blow up good times. And what does that teach us? Having a good time is not okay. Having a good time is not safe. Oh my God, if I have a good time, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's that shoe? What's going to happen? What is that going to look like when that shoe drops? What is it going to look like? And in my family, it was always the worst case scenario. It was always me getting hit, always, backhanded, whatever. Or my dog getting kicked, which, yeah. So the point being is we learn very quickly to shut ourselves down around emotions, any emotion, but in particular, happiness. It's like we've learned that it's not safe. So what can we do? It's really important to pull out the Inner Child Workbook by Catherine Taylor or Regaining the Inner Child by Lucia Cappuccioni. And you work with that age. How old are you when you go, oh, I can't be happy. Oh, I can't, no, I gotta stop it. Oh, I gotta shut down. I gotta stay safe. How old are you? Generally, I find with my clients, it's mostly around age 4, 3, around in there, whenever we became cognizant of what our abusive parent was doing and made the connection. Oh, something happy happened, now something bad's gotta happen. Seriously. So we learn to punish ourselves before they can, so maybe it won't be as bad. You know, we do that. So it's really important, mindfulness. You must be mindful. Are you allowing yourself to feel safe enough, and that's really what it is, to feel happy and really feel it, like really enjoy it? So one thing that I recommend doing to start working on that is you write your abuser a go screw you letter. Dear mom, dear dad, dear teacher, dear professor, dear ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-brother-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, whoever the abuser was. Bleep the bleepity bleep bleep out of bleeping bleep you. I will laugh my ass off if I frickin' feel like it. Go pound sand, have a nice life. I'm kicking you out of my head. You don't get to live up here rent-free one more goddamn minute. Screw off, bye-bye. And then trot it out to the barbecue, read it out loud once as a manifesto, and then burn it. Let it go. They have no power. But your little one doesn't know that. So that's why you want to pull out the Inner Child Workbook and start working with that little one. So something that I do with my clients is I do guided imagery. So I will have them close their eyes, go somewhere amazingly safe, and call that little child to them. Put that child on your lap, hug them, kiss them, love them. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I understand that it's been scary to be happy because it's always been taken away from us. But you know what, kiddo? I'm here. I'm here. I am going to protect you. The adult me is going to protect you. I allow us to be happy. And you just let them be happy. Let them play. Enjoy them. you know? And then, you know, when you're done, then you go, okay, sweetie, go play. I'm gonna go, but if you need me, I'm right here. And then you open your eyes. The other thing you can do is you can do mirror work. And you look at yourself in the mirror, make direct eye contact, because you're talking to your subconscious. You're literally talking to your inner child at that point. Make direct eye contact, and you say, hi, good to see you. Oh gosh, you're so awesome. You know what? It's okay for you to have fun. It's okay for you to be happy, however that looks. Whether it's just, you know, I'm content, I'm laughing out loud, I'm watching a funny movie, I'm having fun with my friends, I'm just sitting here meditating. It's okay. You are allowed. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. You are allowed to feel joy. It is okay. I love you. And then you walk out. And you do that every damn day. Because it's going to take a while. It won't take very long, but it'll take a while to undo all of the fear and all of the nastiness and all of the non-permission. So remember, narcissists are, well, the covert narcissists are sneaky. The overt ones are generally not that bright, but the covert ones are sneaky. And so their non-permission is nonverbal, okay? So you got to give yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission, and give yourself nonverbal permission as well. Like, try smiling in the mirror. Try laughing in the mirror. Play with your laugh. It's okay. You have the right to express and experience joy. You do. You are a human being. You have worth, you have value, you have the right to express and experience joy. Now, getting back to the fear. So my sister was like, oh, this regime is scaring me to death. I just don't feel like it's okay for me to be happy when other people are suffering. So that's a little bit of codependency, which, not surprising, we were all raised by the same people. So you want to work on your codependency. If that is what is stopping you from being joyful because other people are suffering, you have to remember it's okay for you to be joyful because the world needs hope. And joy gives us hope. Laughter gives us hope. I actually assigned, Robin Williams and, who was that comedian? He was so funny. He died. He was in the Silent Bob movie, Hitching the Ride from the Truck. George Carlin. Yeah, so I assigned, go find a George Carlin film. Go find a Robin Williams tape of him doing stand-up. A lot of it's inappropriate and wouldn't fly today, but anyway. But go find something that makes you laugh. Really, truly makes you laugh. Find that, play that, allow that. Now, here's something funny. I lived in an apartment building, and I was watching a Robin Williams tape. This was years ago when he was at the height of his popularity. And the woman downstairs complained because I was laughing too loud. I wasn't. She was crazy, and she was probably a narcissist. And let me tell you something. You know that old saying, the devil runs from laughter? Narcissists hate true emotions, and they hate true happiness. They can't stand it when somebody is laughing. They can't. I mean, I literally have had nasty, disordered people when I'm out, with my friends and I'm laughing, and some old biddy came up to me and was like, you laugh too loud. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, you can't enjoy it. Seriously, 0 F's to give, because it's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not bothering you. Nobody else is complaining. So if you don't like the laughter, there's the door. So yeah, they don't like it when people are happy. It bothers them. Like, really. Like, if I'm out somewhere and and I'm having a good time and somebody else is having a good time and I hear them laugh, it makes me so happy. It does, because it's like, yes, joy, yes, this is good. And especially if it's a kid laughing. Oh my God, they're so funny when they start giggling. It's hysterical. Anyway, joy is a good thing, but narcissists don't like it. And they will do anything to stop that. So going back to the codependency, if you're feeling like you cannot be happy because someone else is suffering, work on the codependency. So you do the Buddhist worry chart. Is there a problem? Well, hell yeah, there is. People are losing their citizenship. They're losing their Social Security. They're losing their medical benefits, they're losing, there's a lot of bad things going on. Okay, what can I do? Well, it's limited. I can write my senators, I can be loud, I can protest, I can do whatever I need to do. I can help as much as I can. I can donate to charity, I can donate to the ACLU, I can do small things. Okay, that's good enough. And I think the thing of it is that we got from our abusers this sense of, if it's not a grand gesture and fixes it, that somehow it's not good enough. Au contraire, if I could do my little thing, I would. Yes, little things help, because little things come together to make a big thing. So even if you can just do little stuff, that is good enough. It truly is. Like I said, I don't go to protests because the level of rage I have, I would throat punch somebody if they got in my face. I really would. And probably worse. So, I don't go to protests. But what I do is I call my senators, I donate, I, advise people, I help them, that's what I do. It's not a grand gesture, but it's good enough. And that's what you got to remind yourself of. Little things help. They really do. So do not hand your power over to an abuser, no matter who that abuser is, whether it's your mom, your dad, your grandparents, a teacher, a professor, a coworker, a boss, whatever. Do not hand your power over to them. They do not have the power you think they do. You have the right to be happy. You have the right to laugh. You have the right to experience and express joy. Absolutely. I could have handed my power over to that woman at the restaurant and been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm a terrible person. No, screw that noise. Biatch, you don't like laughter? You can just stop listening in on our conversation, first of all, you old biddy. But do you see where I'm going with that? It's like there's something that's really wrong with somebody if they don't like laughter. So don't hand your power over to them. Because someone else is suffering, does it suck? Yes, absolutely. I hate it. I want it to stop. I really do. And that's why I do the little things that I do, calling my senators, writing letters, helping out, volunteering, giving money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I do that, because it's like, okay, I'm doing something. Because actions always make us feel better. But I also don't hand over my power and go, okay, I'm going to be doom and gloom. I am going to enjoy, okay, this week I was with my my great nephew, Kepler. Oh my God, he's hysterical. We were playing Yahtzee, which was hysterical, and he kept doing the Yahtzee dance. So he would blow on everybody's dice, and then he would run around and do cartwheels with the dice and the thing and laugh and all sorts of stuff. And we had the best time. I loved it. I giggled. I laughed. Oh my God. I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. I'm not going to let a politician take that away from me. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to enjoy my family. And that is the way through all of this. It really is. It's you own your own emotions and you feel your own emotions. You have compassion. You do what you can, but you also allow yourself to feel joy. And I think the big thing for my clients is, especially if it was a parent that stopped them from having joy or fun or whatever, is that they feel like that parent is somehow going to come back and get them, even though the parent is dead. So this is a really good idea to write the goodbye letters, like a final, if they're dead, a final goodbye letter. If they're not dead, still a final goodbye letter. You have no power here. You have no power here. How dare you? How dare you try to make me not be happy? Screw you and the horse you rode into town on. Not going to happen. Not going to allow it. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy myself. And when I hear you knocking, I'm going to scream at you. You cannot come in. Seriously, you're going to have to do that, because that training has been so ingrained that even though they're dead, we have a tendency to think that they're going to come back from the grave and get us. Or we do the magic thinking where if something bad does happen, we link it back to, oh my God, I was having fun, I'm being punished. No, my loves. No. The world does not work that way. The world does not work that way. Abusers work that way. But the world does not work that way. If something bad happens, that's normal. It's never going to be a high all the time or a low all the time. It's always kind of going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And in a healthy, normal family, that would be taught, that would be explained, and you'd be okay with it. But in an unhealthy family, the lows or something bad happening gets attributed to you were having fun, I'm going to punish you. Nope. No. So practice having joy. Find your joy and allow yourself to feel it unabashedly so. And when those thoughts pop up, you do thought stopping. Whoa, thank you, thought. That was fascinating. You want me to stop laughing because, oh, it makes you uncomfortable? Okay, go pound sand. I hear you knocking, mother clucker. You can't come in. And you send it off, and you do that as many times as you need to. Do things that bring you joy. Gardening, some people love gardening. Some people love painting. Some people love the arts. Some people love playing the piano or an instrument of some sort. Some people like watching movies that are funny. Some people love hanging out. So, it's whatever brings you joy. Fully engage yourself in the moment. Do not allow the abuser to win. When you shut yourself down, the abuser wins. Don't allow them to win. So another good book for that is mindfulness. So there's a DBT mindfulness book that I really strongly suggest you get and you read. And I cannot remember who wrote it, but you just go on to Amazon, you just look up DBT mindfulness, and there's probably a ton of them. So you pick out whichever one you think is going to work with you the best. So that's really it. So happiness is normal. Not being happy, like taking happiness away, is not normal. And that is what abusers do. They like to take it away. And they do it because they can't feel it. They don't enjoy it. They don't appreciate it. They don't understand, how to process it. And how dare you have something that they don't. I would strongly suggest getting away from those people if you can, because they're not going to change. They do not change. Once they've started down that, they do not change. All right, guys, any questions before I call it for today? Because I'm getting close to being done here. Yes, no, maybe so? Chat kind of stopped. No? Okay. All right. So next week, I am going to talk about bad therapists, because somebody asked me a question of, what do you do if you're working with therapists and they are giving bad advice and they're affecting your clients? And it's not just that, there's bad therapists out there, and we're going to talk about what to watch out for, what you can do if you happen to be working with a bad therapist, what you can do, and all of that sort of good stuff. So we're going to talk about bad therapists. Good Lord. We're going to talk about bad therapists next week. So, all right, you guys, go practice happy. It's okay. I give you permission. Give yourself permission. Do the mirror work. Do all of the guided imagery. Take good care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.